Hi everyone, Kris from Stone Age Gamer here, and welcome back to Stone Age Gaming. Atari's been having a heck of a year this year, which, considering it's the company's 50th anniversary, is a pretty good thing. They've been pulling out all the stops to try and make this year as memorable as humanly possible, given the means of the company. Now, while they still have been doing all kinds of stuff like NFTs, which make me feel a little less than joyous, they've also done a lot of really cool things in the gaming landscape, which I haven't seen from this company in a very, very long time. And with the most recent release of Atari 50, it's really got me thinking to myself about what made me fall in love with Atari in the first place. They were my introduction to gaming, and obviously the games themselves were a huge part of what made me fall in love with it. It was the biggest part of what made me love Atari. But there was another aspect of it, and that was the world that they built around it. The entire Atari brand really resonated with me. And that, in particular, boiled down to this little catalog right here, and a bunch of catalogs like it, were the things that I poured over even more so than the instruction manuals, because they're full of amazing art and imagination and just, well, this was gaming for me as a kid. So, let's take a closer look. The humble video game catalog, truly a lost art. This is I've gone on and on about this kind of stuff in the past. It's always been a source of fascination to me. I just love old catalogs because they're just full of all this weird, interesting artwork that's you don't get this stuff anymore. You don't even get physical instruction manuals for the most part anymore, let alone a giant catalog stuffed inside of your game box showing off all the other cool games that you can get. But let's go ahead and take a look here. These are the Atari ones. Now, my favorite, these back here, we'll get to those in a bit because there's a bit of an evolution that got to there. Atari's earlier catalogs looked a little bit more like this. So I've got a couple of these in a similar vein here. I don't know exactly which ones came first, these or these, but I'm going to start with the smaller ones. So we've got the Atari Video Computer System catalog, more games, more fun. With this distinct art style. This art style is going to permeate the entire catalogs as well. This art style is not the one that I grew up with loving. This was I always thought this was a pretty neat art style, but nowhere near as cool as the later stuff. But I've got, let's see, two that say more games, more fun, although they got different colors on them. Then I got this one that doesn't say that, with a different set of characters on the front. And then this guy here, which is a lot thinner, just says, be a flying ace, a race car champion, a tennis star, and a space pioneer all in one afternoon. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's take a look at this one first. Why the heck not? So let's see. We got man torpedoes for air sea battle. This guy looking all secretive here. You know what? I bet we're going to see a lot of overlap in these. So we'll flip through this first, and then I'll look at the other ones at the same time. We got these hockey guys down here. So we've got it arranged by some sporty stuff. Indy 500, Video Olympics, Starship. Man, you didn't see this one in late. Was this in the later catalogs? I don't remember. But man, look at this artwork. This is so goofy. Burn Rubber, it's Street Racer. Let's see, Surround. This is so interesting. Like, who would have ever thought that Surround, like, who imagined it looking like a guy like lost in the desert? And then oh boy, that's a drawing right there for blackjack. Yikes. And then you got basic math in the back there. Einstein teaches you 2 plus 2 with more to come. So let's see, what was the year on this one? Printed in Taiwan. I don't see a year on this one. Interesting. So let's see. We've got these three thicker full color ones here. Let's see what's similar between the three of them. Here we go. Now we're talking. So there have never been so many ways to have fun. That's similar. It's got different drawings on it. And this, all right, so these top two are different, actually. These are all different. Look at this. So these top two here are really similar, but they've got different games lined up on the side here. This must be the first one because these are the gatefolds right here. And then you move on to this one would be the second one because you can see that these are no longer the gatefolds. You got Starship, flag capture, so we're still pushing flag capture, which
kind of didn't get pushed to push much later. And then you got this one here where you're getting into stuff like, yes, I see Superman right in front there, and Space Invaders. So same basic message going throughout, but different games that they were pushing at the time. So let's see. Let's go back to this first one here with the gatefold games and see what they have to show off. Oh, on the back, look at that. You got a nice little cartridge and controllers grid spreadsheet. There you go. Boy, I couldn't think of the word spreadsheet. So let's see, Indy 500, Video Olympics. Again, more of the same art that was in that little miniature one I saw over there. Trapped, Hit Me, this blackjack one again. This Secret Sailor. All right, what else have we got here? Atari never stops inventing. Invented a coin-operated game called Pong. So what is this showing off here? May the Force be with you. Wow, look at that. I think they have that trademarked by now. Space Combat and Space Shuttle. Oh, there we go. Space War. I see the game names are down at the bottom. Home Run. The Team Purple. Giant Chin. Way to go. Got an itchy trigger finger for Outlaw. That's pretty cool. And Breakout. A guy breaking out of jail. And Hunting Score with this weird alien and either Pippi Longstocking or the girl from Wendy's. One or the other. Not sure. That's an interesting pick. And I love that these screenshots are all drawings. Like, these are not screenshots. These are drawings, and they're super cool. Hangman, Codebreaker, Brain Games with a giant computer there, and, well, I don't know. That drawing makes me a little uneasy. And what else we got here? The ultimate chase scene and flag capture. So that was pretty darn cool. Let's see what was different in this one here. If we got any fresh pictures. Well, there's one. Look at those football dudes. They're so beefy. I love it. All right, so we got a lot of the same artwork here. This is going to be a lot of similarities for sure. Just those same pictures in a different order. But I found that football one. I wonder if there's any other cool new drawings in here. No, I don't remember that one in there. That's pretty neat. Oh, there we go. Look at this skydiver and this giant dude bowling. That's pretty awesome. Oh, look at this one, the miniature golf one. This is a cool game. It's a weird game, but once you get the hang of it, it's a pretty cool game. Oh boy, look at this. Beat the One-Armed Bandit and Slot Machine and Human Cannonball. That game is pretty fun. There's football again. Love that drawing. Oh, look at that. Bombs away. And then we got the Atari inventing. Oh, look at that. Video chess. And backgammon. And Superman. Look at that. That's awesome. And look at this quote-unquote screenshot here. I remember looking at this in the other... and all the catalogs, really. Looking at the Superman one and being like, man, that game, I bet that game is really cool. And then this giant nerd back here. There's your spreadsheet again, and a big old stack of games on the back. And then this newer one doesn't have anything on the back other than the Atari logo. Let's see if we got any new art in this one. Oh boy, we do, right off the bat. Look at this. Space Invaders. Oh, what a cool picture that is, huh? Look at that. I love the Atari 27 Space Invaders. Is really one of the best. They move Superman right up to the front on this one. Good job. Make use of that. Okay, we got Game of Concentration here. Formerly Hunt and Score, because they renamed a couple other games like Concentration and Basic Math. They renamed to Fun with Numbers. There's bowling again. Come on, give me some other really wild-looking pictures. Ooh, 3D tic-tac-toe. That's not bad. Of course, then you got that one again. Ugh. Codebreaker. Oh, that one's pretty cool. Night Driver. Oh, Night Driver is such a neat game. I'm terrible at that game. Flag Capture. That's a different picture. I don't remember that one either. That's a better picture for Hangman, I think. Poor cat. Oh, look at this adventure. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty wild. And what is this? Oh, Surround. So that's a totally different take on Surround, where instead of a guy in the desert, it's a guy in a factory, I guess? That's weird. Neat, though. Miniature golf, kind of a smaller version of the same picture. Slot racers, more Star Wars ripoffs. Golf. Oh god, golf. I do not like that game at all. That game's not very fun, at least not to me. Good old combat like that. And yeah, that seems to be about it. Oh, Circus Atari. Oh, Circus Atari is such a fun game. It's like Breakout, but you're two little stick figures, and they look really funny when they get squished on the ground and they die. And there's your spreadsheet again. All right, so that's the little catalogs. Then they started dishing out these guys that were slightly larger. So let's see, we got 42 game program cartridges with a red background, and then 43 in both green and orange. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that these are really similar. Yeah, so Superman's moved to the back on this one. I don't know what the when these came out in relation to each other. So, oh, look at this one. That's a pretty nice opening page. This is also on much thinner paper, and this 43 game one is also on the same super thin paper, and has yet a different image. Well, Space Invaders run on the front there. So let's see. Let's line these guys up and see how they look. See how they compare. So these two are similar. These are actually almost identical, these two. Let me get the frame a little bit better there. There you go. So which one is this? This the two different orange ones, except this one's 42, this one's 43. Interesting. So I got to assume that this one's the newer one out of the three. I don't think there's going to be much interesting differences here. I wonder what the one game that's different in these are. Regardless, we're pretty much looking at the same artwork here. I don't think there's much different. You can see some of the older... Oh, that's different. Look at you. What is that guy? He's super cool. Hooray for Othello. Oh, and then we got Pele Soccer. I guess there is some different artwork in here. There's that adventure one again. Anything else super cool? Oh, look at those cars. That's sweet. So it's, a lot of the older pictures are just kind of shrunk down and put in different positions. Video pinball, that's a great one. Their real art for video pinball is the best. Warlords. Oh, it doesn't even... Kind of makes sense. Yeah, I'm into it. And then Maze Craze. Ooh, and look at that. A little game organizer. You can push a button and it pops a game out of it. That's pretty snazzy. Does this have anything cool in the back of it? Let's find out. And... Oh, yep, that's that. Oh, what is this? George Dakota, the founder of... the official Atari Game Club. Cool. Wow. Make it official. Official member of the Atari Game Club. Look at that. Only $1 for a full year? That price, I can't afford not to join the club. Again, looks like I don't think there's much difference in the art as far as these other two ones are concerned. This is probably the newer one, if I had to venture a guess. And what's in the back of this? Again, the Atari Club. Yeah, pretty much the same thing as the other one. So these are awesome. They're full of all this really interesting art. Not quite the art that made me fall in love with Atari, but still very cool stuff. So let's take a sidetrack into some third-party territory here. I have 3 different Activision ones. Let's see. This one says we put you in the game. This one says we put you in the game. This is fall 1982. Do we have a date on either of these? This is 81 and 82. So this will be the earliest one. So let's take a look what's inside here. I love Activision, the rainbow art. Just love all these. I have a full set of the picture label Atari stuff, and I've always wanted to get a full set of the Activision rainbow art ones. Okay, so this one actually folds out. Look at that. Cool. Boxing, fishing derby, tennis, bridge. Wow, is this pre-Pitfall? This is pre-Pitfall. Look at that. So obviously you've got all these really cool the box art for all these games on it. But look at Bridge. Way to make that look exciting. Like, yes, rainbows, action, bridge, checkers, and oh, I love this stuff. I love these rainbow arts. But this is what's super cool. Look at this. Right on the back, you've got a bunch of the creators, which was kind of the whole point of founding Activision in the first place. Is Atari wouldn't let anyone take credit for their work. So we've got Alan Miller, Larry Kaplan, David Crane, Bob Whitehead, and Steve Cartwright. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so let's see what came next, and I'm going to go ahead and venture to say this was the follow-up. Still don't see Pitfall on the cover. Let's see what we got going on inside here. It's another fold-out. Same basic principle. Let's fold this one out, too, and do a direct comparison, shall we? What changed from one to the next? Okay, these two. Dragster got moved. Freeway is gone. Stampede and Ice Hockey. Kaboom's still there. Bridge is out. Checkers is out. What about the back here? Woo! Still got the same. Oh, we got different. We got different dudes on the back. Or are they just different pictures? Yeah, it's a different picture of Alan Miller. Same Larry Kaplan, David Crane, Bob Whitehead, and Steve Cartwright. So I guess Alan Miller just wasn't happy with his older picture. Good for him. And look at that. So there's Bridge and Checkers in there, and Barnstorming and Grand Prix. So they just added 2 more games onto the back and changed Alan Miller's picture. Okay, that's cool. So let's see what this one's all about. The Fall 1982, featuring our first new games for Intellivision. Ooh. So looks like this one, wherever I got this from, has some writing in it. So this one is more of a catalog. It's got pages, not all fold out. So Mega Mania, one of my favorites. Clearly, whoever owned this before me, it's one of their favorites too. Here we go. Pitfall, coming September 1982. Star Master, Chopper Command, Kaboom, whoever owned this had good taste in games. Just circling some good ones here. Barnstorming, Laser Blast. What else we got here? Boxing, Ice Hockey. So pretty much all your Rainbow label games. Let's see, where's the Intellivision ones? Here we are. Man, look how different the Activision box art for Intellivision was. There's Stampede and there's Pitfall. Totally different approach to making box art for those. And the games look pretty similar. I can't say I've ever played any of the Activision games on Intellivision. I don't love the Intellivision controllers, to be honest, so a lot of games like this do not sound like fun for me to play on there. Oh, that's it? Just those two, huh? Alright. Well, there you go. And then you got a bunch of the patches, which, who doesn't love the Activision patches? Classic stuff. Alright, sticking with the third-party train, I also have a catalog from iMagic. This is another company that was formed from a bunch of people who ran away from Atari to create their own company similar to Activision. iMagic obviously not still around, and this is another one of those fold-out guys. iMagic had really interesting box art. The boxes were really eye-catching because they were all like shiny silver, but some of the artwork was like this Demon Attack one here is kind of famous for just being a bunch of dinosaur toys painted silver with a bunch of plastic stuff glued to them. That's pretty funny, but Demon Attack's a great game. Star Voyager and Trick Shot. I never played Trick Shot. That's interesting. Atlantis, Cosmic Arc, Firefighter, Riddle of the Sphinx. Those are good games. And this little guy here, Video Storage Center. That's pretty cool. What's interesting here is this pattern, this wood pattern, looks just like the wood pattern that was on the Telegames Sears version of the VCS, which is pretty interesting. But that's not the system that's in there. But oh well, there you go. That's what iMagic had cooking. iMagic made some pretty darn good games. And then we have good old Coleco, coughing up Atari 2600 games, which some were very impressive. Don't get me wrong. Like this Donkey Kong game, sure, it doesn't look like much now, especially considering the arcade original that it's based on. But it was Donkey Kong on your Atari 2600. Their box art was less exciting because it was always like, here's a picture of the arcade cabinet and the logo, just to kind of drive home the fact that you're playing arcade conversions. So less exciting, but good stuff, good looking stuff. Now we're on to the main event. Got these guys out of the way. We're on to the main event here, and that's this era of Atari catalogs. I'll start off with this poster. This here is a giant catalog / poster thing. I love this one. Open up a world of possibilities with Atari game program cartridges. So then you open it up and you got this really awesome looking collection of color boxes here. Crack it open a little bit more. We've got these cute kids and their dog playing some asteroids on their 2600s, having a good time. Let's see here. Open up the next one. We've got this awesome looking picture of the VCS hooked right up to the TV with this crazy screenshot of asteroids that looks kind of like the game, but not really. Again, with the hand-drawn things, and there's some dude up in the corner playing the businessman up in the corner playing the arcade version. And you got some keyboard controllers and regular joysticks and paddles ready to go. And now let's crack it open and see what's really on the inside. Here we go. Look at that. Look at this awesomeness right here. So you got the big Atari logo, you got big Superman up there, all these screenshots, all this awesome artwork. And this is interesting because this is like a combination of the stuff we saw in those previous catalogs, like this, the really goofy artwork and stuff, and also combined with some of the more realistic stuff that we'd see. Like there's Pac-Man, the real cover for Video Pinball over there. This was the cover for Dodge'em. So that's this big giant poster. Absolutely awesome. This also has them all organized like Space Station, Combat Zone, Skill Gallery, Adventure, Theater, Racetrack, Sports Arena, and Classics Corner. How cool is that? That is an amazing poster. I love it. All right. Now we're getting to some of these other guys here. This is the logbook. This isn't really a catalog. I just wanted to show it off because it matches these other catalogs, and it's so weird. Like, it didn't seem weird at the time when I was a kid because, of course, this is how you played games. You tried to get high scores, but, like, you know, high scores just aren't really much of a thing anymore. You would just keep your progress written down in this logbook. A record of your greatest hits on your Atari video computer system. And look at this. Look at this picture right here. I have always loved this image. That's such an awesome picture. And of course, that's this image is so famous they used it for the title screen of Atari 50. And then you got the Skill Gallery, Space Station, Classics Corner, Adventure Territory, Racetrack, Sports Arena, Combat Zone, and Learning Center, just like on the poster. Pretty cool. And then it just kind of breaks down game by game with the unencumbered artwork for every single one of these games, which is so cool to see. Them all just lined up like this, because in these other catalogs you'll see it's something similar, but this is a really fun breakdown of all this art. So on to the catalogs. This one we've got 49, this one we've got 45. So this was obviously the one that came first. There's that picture again, but a more zoomed out version of it, or at least a more portrait, right? Landscape portrait. Yeah, that's how that works. Your breakdown of all the different kinds of games again, and here we go. This is where it was at. I thumbed through these things over and over again, and this artwork, really just starting with the Skill Gallery, this artwork captivated me to no end. This is probably my favorite video game box art ever, is Video Pinball. It's just masterful. And this artwork in particular, all the stuff on the color boxes just captured my imagination like no other. Like this Super Breakout, the set in space like this, love that. This Pac-Man artwork, I didn't really know what Pac-Man was because I didn't really go to arcades. I was really young. And this was kind of like my first taste of Pac-Man. So the fact that this wasn't like the arcade game didn't really mean anything to me. I just thought it was a pretty fun game, and I just love the way it all looks. And now we got all these little guys here. Breakout, Circus Atari, Video Pinball, Skydiver, and this is fun. This is from Slot Machine, which is not in here. It's not listed anywhere in here, but they threw the box art for it in here. And the Space Station with your classic asteroids picture. This Defender art is so awesome. This always weirded me out when I was a kid. It just looked so, the guy getting zapped up and whatever. And look at this screenshot. This at best vaguely looks like the game. I mean, it is the same basic principle, I guess, but these things, all the sprites do not look anything like that in the actual game. Look at that. Yar's Revenge. Boy, that picture is one of the coolest drawings I've ever seen. It's so, like, freaky looking and awesome. And again, you know, not a real screenshot. Asteroids, Missile Command, Space Invaders, and I don't know what this is from. Don't know what that's from. But there's the ship from the Space Invaders cover. We got Classics Corner over here. All this stuff. I always thought that Othello box totally looks like Tim Curry. Video checkers. 3D tic-tac-toe is another really cool looking one. Always thought that was nice. And this smug little kid on the cover of Checkers. I always wanted to smack this kid in the face. Look at him. And she's just looking at him like, yeah, you are the best. He's like, I am the best. King me. All right, the adventure territory. Look at this. Look at this. This has got to be from Adventure, right? But I've never seen this specifically attached to Adventure, but I don't know what else it would be from. What an amazing piece of artwork, though. That's gorgeous. There's your haunted house. This ghost got feet in this one. I don't know what that's about. Oh, Haunted House is such a great game. Adventure and Superman and Human Cannonball? I'm not sure that fits in the adventure territory, but okay, why not? Racetrack. Yeah, look at that. There's a bunch of good racing games in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racing games. Pretty snazzy. And then like this weird callback to the old art style. Just right in the middle of this thing. Then we go to the sports arena. This, I think, was alternate cover art for Home Run, if I'm remembering from the Art of Atari book by Tim Lapatino. That's pretty cool, right? Because Home Run, yeah, that's the... Is that the same image? Oh, that is the same image. I'm a crazy person. There's an alternate version of the Home Run art, which is pretty cool looking. I don't remember it having those numbers in there, but oh well. Guess I'm crazy. There's a big doofy dude in golf. Good old football. My sister and I used to play this all the time and be like, I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing something. And then we get the combat zone. Back here in the back, obviously you've got Combat and Canyon Bomber, Air Sea Battle, Outlaw, and Warlords. Man, Warlords is such a great game. And of course, and then right in the back, you got your Learning Center. I don't know what this battleship. This has got to be from Air Sea Battle, I think. Anyway, this art always, something about this artwork always bugged me. I don't know, bug. Ha! I don't know what it was. This one's always been a little weird to me because it looks so different from the rest of these. Like Brain Games. Look at this thing. That friggin' wizard from Brain Games is one of the coolest box arts ever, and it's attached to Brain Games, which is one of the most boring games ever. But these two, Hangman and Game of Concentration, the art style on these two is so very different from just about all the rest of the color box games. They've always been super weird to me. And then you got some accessories, the Game Center, the Game Program Case, and the Modular Cartridge Library. Super cool. And then those things in the back here telling you what games use what controllers, and that is very nice. So this one's 49 games. I wonder what's different in this one. We'll just flip through this one super quick to see if we can spot the differences here. This is probably the one that I spent the most time with. This seems familiar to me. Yeah, this right here. Because this one was pretty neat in the beginning here with the breakdown like this, but this, look at this. I want this blown up into giant poster form and just hang this one up on my walls. Goodness gracious, look at that. Oh, it tells you right here on the front which ones are new. So, 45, 46, so we got 4 more games. We got Demons to Diamonds, Berserk, Star Raiders, and Math Grand Prix. Classic. Alright, let's see if we can take a quick look at the artwork on those games. Demons to Diamonds. Ah, look at that. This is a really fun game, too. Also, always loved this artwork. It's like, it's, again, stylistically pretty different from the rest of them, but it's also really cool looking, and it's a children's game. Let's see. What was the other new one? Demons to Diamonds, Berserk, and Star Raiders. Let's get to the space station. Quickly, to the space station. There we are. There's Star Raiders. Look at that. Eventually used again for the box art for Solaris because the picture was so darn cool. And there's Berserk. Alright, so when I was a kid, for some reason, I always thought this was the robot's head. I don't know why. This looked like a helmet, and they were just blowing off this weird face on there. But that's a shoulder, and he's blowing off an arm. I don't know why I always thought that was a head, but it just... No. There you go. There's your story of me not understanding imagery when I was a kid. And then the other new one was Math Grand Prix, right? So let's see what else we got here. Combat Zone. Oh, Warlords takes the cover of the Combat Zone. And rightfully so. Warlords is awesome. But then you again with this different style art from those older catalogs. Learning Center with that creepy hangman art. There it is. Math Grand Prix. Look at him thinking about 5 plus 6. He's really thinking about 5 plus 6. He wants to know what it is. And she's just having a good old time. Look at her. She's thrilled. She's kicking his butt in the race. I have never played Math Grand Prix. I mean, I own it because I bought all the color box games just to complete the set, but I don't think I've ever actually tried this game. I can't imagine it being any kind of fun. But look at that screenshot, though. That's really something. It's a Math Grand Prix, all right. Estimated availability July 1982. Boy, these catalogs came out in quick succession. How wild is that this is still advertising games coming in 1982? Like, these were all really close to each other. So copyright 82, copyright 81. So really within a year or two, they had a bunch of just different catalogs. I don't think any of these go back. What's the oldest one we had here was the with the Gatefold games, and we couldn't find a date on this one, right? This has to be, oh, look at that, 78. So 4 years, coughed up a handful of different kinds of catalogs. So that's something. But yeah, these catalogs are truly amazing. I hope that was some sort of fun for you to look at, because I had a ball just flipping through all these catalogs. I will never ever get tired of looking at these things. I will never get tired of pictures of kids having a good old time with their dog and Atari at the same time, because that seemed to be a thing. I'll never ever get tired of this artwork, which is just amazing top to bottom, and I love all this stuff. And there you go. That's why I love Atari.
Once I got introduced to the world of Nintendo, Atari kind of took a back seat, which, I mean, I was definitely a Nintendo kid. And Mario and Zelda and Metroid and Kid Icarus and Donkey Kong, that stuff really, really resonated with me, and it was like the next level of what Atari had to offer with all those, you know, specific characters, whereas Atari was slightly less character-driven. They tried to push themselves in that direction, but they never quite achieved the level of iconic gaming characters as, you know, Namco with Pac-Man, Mario, and Donkey Kong with Nintendo, and Sonic and stuff with Sega. Like, Atari never really captured that, but I never lost my love for that system. I always had my 2600 Junior hooked up to the same TV as my NES and my Super NES. I still have my original 2600 Junior, and I still love playing it because these games are timeless, and the artwork that these games inspired is also timeless. If you've never read Art of Atari by Tim Lapatino, I could not possibly recommend that book enough. It is fascinating. It's filled with amazing stories and filled with just extremely awesome artwork. And there's a poster book version of it too. Not really a version of it. It's a Tim Lapatino's Art of Atari poster book, and it's just, you know, a big poster about this big. I got a couple of them framed right over there outside of the shot. They're just poster-sized full paintings of the original Atari art that was just, it was pure imagination to me, and I will always and forever love Atari because of it. And these catalogs here, these were such a big part of what made me fall in love with this company and with video games in general. Yeah, I know I'm a nerd, but what are you gonna do? I love video games. I love everything about them, and thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked what you saw here today, please follow, comment, like, and subscribe. Share this around to any other Atari fans that you know, or people who are just super interested in video games, and let me know, what is your favorite thing about Atari? When did you discover Atari? Are you an old fart like me who grew up on Atari? Or are you somebody younger who is now getting into the retro scene? Did you just discover them through Atari 50 and learn about all the cool stuff that they did? Please let us know. I love talking Atari with anybody who wants to talk to me about it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. On behalf of all of us here at Stone Age Gamer, keep playing games.